Hey guys, Bob here. So thank you very much for joining in today. And we're getting back on the track with kind of the weekly conversations that I've been doing, this kind of video series. And today we have Kevin Wong with EvolveOne Media. Now, Kevin is a personal friend of mine. I've known him for many years. Used to be a neighbor. We played flag football together. And kind of serial entrepreneur, always been in the marketing game. And recently became the CEO and launched his own marketing agency, EvolveOne Media. And I've already introduced him to a few of my clients already. We've had some traction there as well. And again, just touching on the environment we're in now, this quote unquote new normal, I thought it'd be great to have Kevin on, get his opinion as to digital marketing opportunities that exist for not just dental offices, but other clients or other businesses in this environment. And hopefully there's something that you guys can take away, and whether it's implementing it into your current marketing strategy, or whether it's, requires you guys to contacting an agency like Kevin's or Kevin's for that matter. Anyways, I'm rambling. Kevin, I thank you for being here, man. I wanted to get you on here for a while. And just real quick, man, how are things going? How are you and Mel doing these days?
We're doing amazing. We're hunkered down at home and not really getting out too much. Get out for groceries and see our family from time to time. But we're really focused on work right now because there's a tremendous amount of opportunity out there, and quite frankly, we'd rather be safe than sorry. So we're sticking to ourselves and not socializing and high-fiving people.
And, that's kind of, we're in the same boat. And that's kind of what actually inspired me to do this and start this series, is because I'm not visiting dental offices as cavalier as I used to. We're still going out and still having meetings, more scheduled, but again, not as cavalier. But I still wanted to get a chance to bring information and tools to my clients. I think this is a cool format because it's the ability for them to consume it on their schedule. So I'm not taking time out of their busy day. And it also gives us a chance to have a good conversation, and hopefully they can take something from it. Now, I know.
Let me say that I appreciate and respect you taking that step for your clients, Bob, because most people wouldn't. Most service providers wouldn't go out of their way to deliver value, and that's what you're doing. So I appreciate you having me on today.
Hey, thanks. And hey, Kevin, the money's in the mail. It's on its way. You'll get it. You'll get it soon. Now, I know when this thing first kind of hit us back in March, everyone kind of was concerned, panicked. What's going to happen? What's this going to look like? And now we're 6-7 months into it. I know a lot of offices, a lot of businesses, not just in dentistry, we're trying to hunker down, reduce costs. They're trying to preserve and survive, which is obviously the most important thing. Is anyone that you need to survive this. But I know a lot of people were also cutting back on expenses, and marketing was a big one that they cut back on. Now, just from having conversations with you, having conversations and just interested in marketing myself, I've heard stats over the years that basically companies that actually maintain marketing or expand marketing expenses during a time of crisis, whether it's an economic downturn, in the past, it's actually been shown that those companies have recovered more quickly and actually made bigger gains on their clientele, on their competitors, than if they reduce their marketing during this time. Is that true? Do you agree with that?
I do. It's been proven time and time again historically. The companies that are doubling down on their strengths and connecting with their audience, connecting with their potential consumers and existing consumers, that they are typically the ones that will thrive beyond the crisis or beyond a crisis. So it is logical why people would look at a marketing expense and say, okay, that's one of the first things to go. However, true marketing is meant to bring consumers to you. You're not making posts on social media for the fun of it, right? You're not trying to rank on SEO or have a nice website just to be there. It's meant to not only attract but convert new customers and new audiences. And so when you do it properly, sure, during the pandemic or during a situation like this, you may have less eyes looking for your service. However, those eyes, even though they may not take action right now, they will have you top of mind when they're ready to buy. Because the other thing that business owners need to consider is that they're not the only ones in this situation. So let's say on a pie, let's say there's 100 competitors in your marketplace. Well, let's say that 80% of them are going to cut their marketing budgets. if 80% cut their marketing budgets and 20% are maintaining their marketing budgets, which section of that pie do you think will have more awareness with their consumers and their audience?
Well, I think it's obvious that the people that maintain. And I guess another question just came to mind is in regards to that. I've heard that, obviously Facebook has had major losses in sales and revenue because of the pandemic. People are paying less for advertising. So in that case, does essentially advertising on platforms like Facebook or social media, does that become essentially cheaper? Your every dollar spent now is going to go further than it would have if you spent it, say, 6-8 months ago before the pandemic?
It is. So something that a lot of business owners don't realize is that platforms like Facebook and Instagram and Google, even any of the search engines, it could be Yahoo, it could be Bing, any platform that you can advertise on are essentially bidding platforms. And so nobody has an unlimited budget, but these platforms take our dollars and they give us placement. And that placement is based on what we bid. And so as an advertiser, we help our clients get the best price for the best placement so that they can be seen with their target audience. So if there's less demand for those marketing placements, then yes, the cost has come down. And so I would estimate that the last report that I read is that advertising costs on Facebook specifically were down about 30%. So you can get the same reach or the same attraction to audiences for 30% less.
And who doesn't want 30% off anything that they're buying, product or service? So, and I guess the thing too we've discussed a little bit before we hit record too is there's opportunity now where there is paid placement, but there's also there's free reach with social media. Again, you can get out and you can make impressions on people without spending any money. And again, that might be the return on that might be more effective now, again, because of the downturn. But at the same time, there is a value in paid advertisements.
Absolutely. So the very much like many different line items in a business, you can either do something yourself or you can pay to have it done. So you can do your own accounting or you can pay to have it done by a professional, right? You can do your own cleaning or you can pay a professional to do it for you. Mm-hmm. Same thing with marketing. You're either going to put in a little bit of elbow grease yourself, or you can pay a professional to do it. Neither way is right or wrong, as long as it's getting done effectively. So if you've got somebody on your staff or that you hire on staff to fulfill your social media or fulfill your Google ads or fulfill your Facebook and Instagram advertising or to do your SEO, there's always a balance, right? There's a cost to everything, but the cost typically does not outweigh the return when it's done properly. And so the idea is that business owners now have to think outside of the box. If they're limited on budget, what can they do themselves that is going to get them a great ROI? And that could be as simple as engaging with your social media audience or trying to expand your audience on social media. Let's face facts. Social media is a huge component of how we live our daily lives now. It's not just a personal tool. It is now a business tool. And if you're not looking at your social media as a business tool, you're probably doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. So there's ways for a business owner to spend a little bit of time or elbow grease in order to create a larger audience during this time. Could be as simple as reaching out to a local influencer saying, hey, how would you like a free teeth cleaning? I'd love for you to come in. I'll do a free teeth cleaning for you. I'm, of course, speaking to your clientele here, Bob. Come in and do a free teeth cleaning. If you'd make a post for us, that'd be great, but I'd love for you to try us out. Roll out the red carpet, make them feel welcome as a customer, and then if they get a free teeth cleaning or a discounted cleaning or something where you promo it somehow, and they make a post about it, and they've got 15,000 local followers on their Instagram or Facebook, that reach can go a long way for something that didn't cost you a lot of time or money.
Yeah, and I think it should be important. We should just address right now too. Like we know that here in our local market, there are restrictions on what dental offices can do, and so we would never recommend that they do anything. And I'm not sure exactly where that would fall in terms of an option, and you and a client can obviously discuss the exact, but I think it's a great, if an office could do that, it would be a great tactic. Now, I guess what would be kind of a strategy for an office generally? Like again, sell is a bad word, a dirty word. It seems to be for a lot of dentists. They don't want to be really selling. They're providing treatment. But should a campaign and messaging be strictly like sell, 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 or what type of format should the communication and the message be to the desired audience?
Well, that's a great question, Bob. The society, the general population has grown accustomed to sales pitches. Right now, the current or most recent metric that I've seen is that the average person is exposed to over 5,000 marketing messages a day. So you can assume that if you are trying to deliver as a business owner a marketing message, it's going to get drowned out by the noise. But there's got to be something unique about it. Obviously, if somebody's looking for dental services, that makes it somewhat unique amongst the noise. If there's some sort of spin, maybe it's comedy, so if it makes them laugh, or if it informs them, or if it recognizes somebody, those are typically three areas that a marketing message will stand out. So if they're recognizing, let's say, a new patient, and let's just use social media as an example. Oh, new patient. Hey, great. They welcome them. People love to be acknowledged. So now people see that the business owner is recognizing their customers and appreciating them. There's a level of goodwill and reciprocity built into that message, right? Another thing is, another way that you can broadcast to capture attention is be informative. So rather than try to sell your audience, how can you inform them? Mm-hmm. If you inform them, your level of expertise will rise a notch or two. So if they're in the market looking for a service provider, they may say, wow, so-and-so, that dentist over there, I remember seeing them online because they had great tips on how to help keep your infant's teeth clean. Mm-hmm. My kid's 2 now, I need a dentist, I need to go over there, right? I need to go see them. So if you can inform your audience, it also creates an engaged audience. So if you're delivering value to people, then they're likely going to come back for more value. That engagement creates again, another sense of reciprocity when they do search for your type of service.
It also really seems like what you're describing right now too is really bringing the personal touch to it as opposed to like the corporate message. So I know there was like a singing dentist on YouTube who became like YouTube famous and was trending for a while. And I don't know how much business it got him, but it definitely got attraction, got information, got people's attention. Excuse me. And I think that's important too. And I know when I look at a lot of dental offices' websites, a lot of the websites too are just it's just like generic photos, and it's just like stock photo families and stock photo smiling teeth, as opposed to that human touch, that personal touch of it. What is and who are the people that make up that dental practice? So
yeah, well, it is like you just indicated. There are a lot of businesses that use, let's say, stock photo, and I don't want to say that's necessarily wrong or bad, but it's likely not as effective as using real photos of your clients or your staff or yourself. People in this era of social media, which has been the last, let's say, 10 years, the real highlight of the usage of social media in the mass population, that people know what is manufactured or what is authentic. They have a sense of it. And so the more authentic of a message you can broadcast to your audience, the more they're going to resonate with it, because they don't, today's world doesn't necessarily resonate with corporate messaging as much as it used to. There's much more power in people trying to support, let's say, support local, those types of movements, support the local business owner or the small business owner rather than the big corporations. And so the more we can deliver a personalized feel and a personalized touch, that goes a much further with the audience than, let's say, a big brand that just is a faceless, nameless brand.
Mm-hmm.
So people do want to be recognized for their individualism and have a personalized approach. Things have come full circle from, let's call it a century ago, when the local barber or the doctor knew you by your first name. They knew what your preferences were. They knew what you did as a hobby. Now, because information travels so fast, people are craving that again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They don't want to be another. They don't want to be a number. They want to come to you because they're getting an extra level of service and appreciation.
No, and I was just thinking about just the generations. I was thinking about the generations and the majority of the people that actually make up the working dentists in our market, and also then who's the generation that they're trying to attract in regards to the younger families, potentially, if that's a large segment, coming into their practice. And yeah, you could have, 2, maybe even 3 generation gaps there. And again, the mindset of what the doctor thinks has been successful, what will make them successful, is very different than what the young family is looking for in terms of, recognition, or what's going to attract them to a particular business or not. And so realizing that there's this gap between those two groups of people, and how do you close that gap? How do you get that message out there that they want to receive? Because that's the thing. It's not necessarily what I want to project. I believe it's not what I want to project as a business owner. It's what does my desired client want to receive? How do they want to receive it? And what's important to them that's going to make them feel comfortable coming in to see me for, again, whether that's dentistry, whether that's a car dealership, whether that's, clothing, anything. It's really connecting and thinking of the patient first, the desired customer first, and again, really finding a way to communicate with them. So I think that's, am I picking up what you're kind of putting down here?
Yeah, you are, Bob. You're a sharp tech. So it is true, is that by having an idea of who your ideal client is, that's number one. Mm-hmm. If we're trying to be everything to everybody, the saying goes that we're nothing to everybody.
Right.
And so by knowing who it is that we're going for, speaking of dentistry, general dentistry, of course, there's people looking for general dentistry. But when they see dental clinic, is there something that you're known for beyond your services? How do you make people feel? Mm-hmm. What do you do to welcome new clients? What is your clinic? What kind of appearance or feel does your clinic have? Not saying that you have to go invest millions of dollars into the most state-of-the-art clinic, but is it a welcome experience? Is it a positive experience? Let's face facts. There's no shortage of negative media and negative news out there.
Right.
As a business owner, what type of environment are you bringing your clients into that gives them a positive experience? Now, I want to be specific in that it's positive, not neutral. Because if you're neutral, then they're coming in and maybe they've been listening to the news, or they were at work and some sort of catastrophe happened. And if we're not changing the way that our clients feel, what else is going to draw them back other than you're providing a service, which 1,000 other dentists could do in your city?
I was just going to say, if that's where you're viewed at, then basically a dentist is a dentist is a dentist. And how do you stand out? How are you going to? And there's also is it 1,000 true fans or 100 true fans that a company needs to?
Yeah. They say 1,000.
1,000, and I don't know a dental office in Edmonton in this market that doesn't have at least 1,000 patients. Now, are all of them going to be like 1,000 true fans? Well, no, but if you have a dental office that has like 2,000, like 3,000 active patients coming in every 2 years, and again, all you need is like 1/3 of them to love you, and then they're going to be talking to their friends. They're going to be bringing their extended family. They're going to recommend you And so how do you, and I think you're kind of going along that lines of talking about how do you affect those people in a positive way to create like 1,000 true fans? Then that's all a business is going to need to be successful throughout this time, throughout the good times, throughout the next bad times that come down the road. So I think that's extremely important. How do you affect those people in a positive way? So very cool.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast here. It was Patrick Bet-David, multi-millionaire in the insurance industry. And he talked about the value of going over and above for your customers or your clients. And he talked about how this one, I think it was a client of his, that uh, every month he would go through his list of clients and he would write them a handwritten note and send it to them, old school, by mail. And sometimes he would attach newspaper clippings. He knew that their kids played sports, and he'd attach this newspaper clipping from the sports section and say, hey, thinking about you, hope things are well. And this person created a phenomenal business because he cared about the client. And he put not just their needs, because their need is simple. Let's call it dentistry. We all need dental work and dental cleaning, but he put their wants first as well. So he went the extra mile, which is why he had such a high retention with his clients.
You're making me instantly reflect, what am I doing for my clients? And maybe I need to start writing handwritten.
We can all be better. We can all be better. So.
Yes, that is true. Well, hey, Kev, this has been awesome. It's been kind of short, jam-packed, and it's kind of the way I want to do it right now in regards to, so I think we've covered a lot. We've touched on a lot of different things, a lot of things for people to think about here. Is there anything lastly that we haven't really touched on that you wanted to bring up to kind of share, or are we kind of good right now?
Given the tone and given the current state of society, I think I'd like to leave your audience with the fact that things will get better. Mm-hmm. Stay focused on the future and stay focused on growth. Try not to think, well, I'll just wait it out. Don't just wait it out, because if we leave our future in the hands of the uncertain, which is what is happening right now, we don't know what's going to happen, then you're essentially saying, I'm just going to go where the wind blows me, and hopefully it'll work out. Hope, as great as it is as a noun, it's not a great verb, or it's not a great strategy. So as business owners, I implore you to have a growth strategy during this time, because you're going to get better returns. Let's say if you are advertising, people are out there looking for service providers. They really are. And maybe it's not as many as before, but there's still people looking. So how can you set aside a growth plan as well as set yourself apart from your competitors? And I'm sure that you'll not only survive what's happening now, but you can thrive.
Very cool. Kevin, I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I love this guy. He's awesome. Kevin, I'm going to include your contact information, the web link to EvolveOne Media in the email down below. So anyone that has questions can reach out to you directly. If you want to CC me on that, that's great. If not, please go to Kevin. And yeah, so hey, again, thanks a lot. All the best to you and Mel. Hope to see you guys soon, and we will we'll catch up soon. Okay, pal?
All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, buddy. Bye for now.